Hello, and thank you for tuning in to this Thursday edition live from the heart of New England, where they lie, cheat, and steal. Brought to you by a state that wants to fund patheticness and poverty. And they're all about telling people that don't do anything that they're doing everything. I live in a place where they look bad upon people that work hard and are dedicated to what they're doing, and they love people that fail. That is bizarre, but it's where I live, so not really sure what that means, but it's very interesting. I don't know why we have to continue to pretend like failing is succeeding. And we have to continue to pretend like there is not a racism issue where there is one. And it doesn't make any sense to me. Like, if you're not doing something right, it should be
the more and more Democratic socialists win at different districts around the country. This is a platform plank for the DSA, and the more that moderates
things said and awareness as well.
have to answer for DSA party platform, and this particular amendment. So here's what Ellis said in this letter to his colleagues. He said, quote, "The so-called Massey Amendment would restrict our country's ability to confront Hamas, Hezbollah, and other terrorist organizations in the region who are sworn enemies of both the United States and Israel." So he's saying that U.S. national security is on the line here. He's going to vote against this amendment, but we've got so many people in the Democratic Party, particularly on the far left.
I think that we live in a place where people are concerned about having opinions and thoughts, and they want to be on the side with other people. And that's not good, really. You might be wondering, why am I saying that? Well, why am I saying that? Because people have to be able to tell the truth and be held accountable. We can't continue to have the line. I don't like Netanyahu, and I'm not on the side of the continuous dependency on Israel and their dependency on America. I think it's too connected. I think it's problematic that we're so connected to them, and I think we need to disconnect. I don't think we should be funding them billions of dollars. I don't understand why we're doing that. Not only do I not understand why we're doing that, I don't understand why we were ever doing that, right? Somebody explain to me how it's beneficial to the United States of America to be holding on the back of itself Israel. You can be friendly and be honest. I think that Ben Shapiro is a spy for Netanyahu. And I think the other guy that comes on Saturdays and Sundays on Fox News is also a spy for Netanyahu too. And I've said that multiple times, and I'm still sticking with that. The problems of Israel are not directly connected to the United States of America, and we cannot continue to give all this time and effort to another country that's taken away from the time and effort that needs to be given to America. I'm going to leave that conversation there because I don't want to give Israel any more time than they deserve, being the size of New Jersey, which is an embarrassment. We have a dependency that we don't need to have. If they want to continue to be in these never-ending wars, Netanyahu convinced Trump, someone convinced Trump that this Iran shit was smart. And now Trump's back to blowing shit up, and he's like, no deal. And then Iran is saying no deal about a memorandum too. Like, we already knew there wasn't going to be a fucking deal. It's not a surprise to anybody. What was all the time wasted saying that you're having talks? Talks about what? What is being discussed? There's no discussions about anything that's relevant. This is all a big ass waste of time. We just need to blow the shit out of them and ensure that they all fucking die. That's the only thing that needs to be completed and done. Anything outside of what the fuck I just said, it doesn't matter. Why do we want to befriend people that want to kill us? They only want to kill Americans. So it doesn't matter what color you are, as long as you got an American in your nationality and you are a citizen of America, they want you to die. They don't care about your life at all. They don't think you matter. These people are Muslim lunatics. They are psychotic, psychopathic lunatics. They believe in virgins and a bunch of other crazy shit, and there's no talking them in anything.
That's not the case. And so I think what we're seeing now is the restoration of military force and economic force. That gives us a stronger hand to play diplomatically. If we want to pursue a negotiated outcome here, we're in a better position to do that.
We have convinced ourselves that we can't tell the truth. I've been saying this shit the entire time. We shouldn't have gotten in that war. And I've been saying the entire time this is a bad look for Trump. This is going to be a bad look for whatever races are coming up in the fall, and it's going to be an even worse look for what's happening in 2028. Because everybody is going to remember how we're overpaying for everything in this hyper fucking inflation. You can't buy anything right now if you're not buying a house cash, if you're not buying a car cash, if you don't have more to put down on things, you're paying more for shit. And I spend a lot of money on things every day. I'm not complaining about spending it. Would I like things to be more fairly priced? Sure. But for most people, it's paycheck to paycheck and it's day by day. And day by day, you're making our lives worse. And although you keep talking about the stock market and the gas prices and all this ridiculous shit, this war hasn't done anything to make any of our lives better. And it doesn't have anything to do with us because it's in fucking Iran. And Iran is not down the fucking street. And some other funny news about the United States of America, the ICE won't be stopping people at lights anymore. Instead, the department will be limiting that for the next month or something, says Tom Homan. There seems to be a lot of fuck ups with that department, like a lot. Now, I don't care that they keep killing these people, but let's stop giving like Democrats things to talk about. That part is really fucking irritating. I don't know. Do you agree with me or do you disagree with me? I think it's just annoying. I feel like I'm right. I literally feel like I'm right. I'm not saying that you can't think what you want to. I'm not even saying that you can't be a Democrat, but I am saying, why can't we have different opinions? Why do I have to agree with you? Why, if I'm one skin tone, I can't think something differently? Why can't I be a conservative? Why can't I be a Christian? Why can't I say I'm Republican? Now, I have my own opinions about the whole red-blue thing and the whole Republican-Democrat thing. I don't agree with democratic morals at all. I don't agree with progressive ideologies, Karl Marx, or communism, because it doesn't work. The is now under investigation. Why are people trying to run over ICE agents? If you're being stopped at a light, the idea you're going to kill someone or hurt them or injure them or do something to that extent. Why, though? I'm sorry, if you're in this country illegally and you should not be here, you need to go. There isn't anything else to talk about. It's not because we're trying to be rude. It's because it's reality. You don't deserve anything. You're not special, and we all know it. You don't get to come into this country and do birthright citizenship and have a surrogacy pregnancy. The baby is born here, and then your child gets to influentiate voting in our lives because we're American citizens. They're downgrading the citizenship of the United States of America with that court allowing that decision to happen. But there has to be a way around this, and Republicans need to figure it the fuck out. But I don't care about these people dying that are attacking ICE, and I don't know why anybody would. If somebody wants to go out of their way to attack a police officer and one that's in charge of that type of stuff, I have a lot of questions. And I don't know why we are going to go in debt $1 trillion. I witnessed the guy that comes on at 1 o'clock and 2 o'clock. The dude with the gray hair on Fox ask some chick from the Trump administration, I would say probably the press secretary's uh, helper. And she didn't actually answer the question when he said, why are we going into more debt, $1 trillion? All she did was talk over that question, not answer it, and say, like, the Trump administration is doing everything they can to be ahead of this war or whatever. You're putting us into more debt, right? So who's going to answer that question for me? Nobody, especially nobody on Fox News, no one on Newsmax, and no reporter anywhere, because they're not asking those kind of questions. You know why they're not answering those questions? Because if they answered that, they'd have to admit that this whole war shit was a bad idea. It wasn't smart. It was stupid. And there are going to be consequences. That's what it would have had to be admitted. But that's not what's happening here. Instead, you know what's happening here? Stupid things. And I'm tired of being held hostage by the government that doesn't know what the fuck they're doing. All right, I don't care about Iran. I don't give a fuck about any part of the Middle East. I don't care about Israel. I don't care about Dubai. I don't give a fuck about Qatar. I don't like their actions on 9/11. I don't give a fuck what plane they give. I don't care. As far as I'm concerned, every generation after that did that needs to be slaughtered, horribly slaughtered. And I would be okay witnessing that. And I know that might sound psychotic, but I don't fucking care. I also don't care about Iraq, and I don't care about any country. I don't give a fuck about the UK either. I can like you from a distance and watch your UK shows and your British stuff and keep up with BritBox from a fucking distance, but I don't want to be connected to this ridiculous shit. And I don't know why anybody else would either. That's my problem with this. It's ridiculous. You're spending money and you're not answering the questions. You are like the Biden administration as far as the money part of it, because you're not answering. Why do we need to invest all this money into wars that never fucking end? Why are we in a war with Iran? What does that have to do with American people? This shit is stupid. And then the people on the right are going to be like, you can't say stuff like that. That's against Trump. I can say whatever the fuck I want, and I don't need to always be with Trump, because a lot of things Trump is doing is very questionable. Like, just questionable. I think overall he's doing a good job, but he did a far better job in his first presidency than his second one. He has fucked up and dropped the ball in every regard. He's fucked up with ICE. He's fucked up with the border. He's fucked up with how much money he's spending. He's spending too much money, okay? I'm a real conservative. What the fuck is going on? Why do we keep needing to spend more money? We can't continue to be in this war and do this ridiculous shit. And there's no explanation to the people that are paying for it. Me and you and us and all of us. It's bizarre. It's insane. It doesn't make any sense. It's not rational. And I don't want to be held hostage because of some shit I didn't sign up for. I don't want to be told we just need to accept it because that's convenient. And I'm not seeing it. Explain to me how the fuck this works. I don't know. Does that make any sense? Like, literally. Does it? No, right? We continue to lie to ourselves and nothing's happening. And it's pretty evident. And we're not in a better place than we were when this started. The Iranians were never going to come to a deal. We didn't need to have any conversations about that. We knew they weren't going to do it. It's not something that was a secret. That's how they operate. The only thing they understand is blood and pain and death. So let's give it all to them. Blow them the fuck up. That's what they need to get. I just said 2 minutes ago, I don't give a fuck about the Middle East, and I meant it when I said that. You can have clear, vindicated sight and not be connected to this ridiculous insanity about that part of the world. We should be able to ask these questions without being judged. Trump's supposed to be speaking at some place in Pennsylvania, and he continues to go to speak to try to rationalize his failure. And people can be stupid if they want and listen to him and think he's the greatest person in the world, and all the irrational bullshit that he's preaching is okay because they love Trump. I can like Trump and tell you that this is stupid. You can like somebody and still think the shit that they're saying is stupid, and that's how I feel. I just feel like, don't care. You know why I don't care? Because I'm still paying hyperinflated fucking prices, and I was promised when Trump became the president, everything was going to become normal again. But here's the joke. It was never going to become normal. The moment they fucked around with everything during the last Biden administration with all the free handouts and the $7,000 food stamps and the free housing authority and all the bullshit that the government continues to give to people, honestly, the longer this continues, the worse it's going to get. There's no out for us. There never was. I said this shit in the fall. You remember? I also said this shit at the beginning of the year. I said it. I said Israel is a problem for America, and that's not because I'm anti-Semitic. That's because I can read the numbers and I understand the game. We're being played. We were played by Biden, and we're being played by Donald Trump. We're being played by the Republicans like we've been played by the Democrats. And they just want us to work till we fucking die and continue to fund their fun. Why they have big ass houses and all these things, and we have nothing. Are we gonna tolerate this bullshit? I think it should already be purged. I'm just fucking sick of these people. We need to have term limits on these fucking old people. Boomers and Gen X don't need to really be involved in politics because they're not making sane decisions that are rational for younger generations. They're being greedy. They've been greedy the entire time. They're still doing that shit now. These fucking elderly people holding on to their money like they're not going to die. Are we going to put all their money in their fucking coffins? It's not going to fit. Are you going to bury your money? Are you fucking kidding me? Like, and I'm not hating on people with money. I'm just asking you, what the fuck? Why do those two generations think they can't be held accountable for their failure? Trump's failed with Iran. Failed. Horribly failed. I don't really give a fuck what he says at the speech he's about to have or he had. It doesn't matter what he said or he says at this point. Going forward, he's going to be known as the president that failed. And he can't do nothing to fix it. Because all the people he sent there, all the conversations that were had, all the power he tries to display to the world, he hasn't gotten anything accomplished with Iran at all. This has actually been nothing but an embarrassment, and I don't get it. Why would we continue to be there? We need to pull out. We need to be done, right? We need to also be done with Israel. And y'all needs to end. It needs to be over. We cannot have situations like this in our country. We are victims to greed. To the greed of the Republicans and the Democrats. And I'm not too sure that the Republicans aren't like the Democrats. They're more rational when it comes to LGBTQIA and the fact that a man can't be a woman and a woman can't be a man and Christianity and stuff like that. But they're still stupid when it comes to votes, and they still don't do things correctly when it matters. We should have eliminated the filibuster. We should have passed through what needs to be fucking passed through, and we should have gotten things done that needs to be done. That hasn't happened. You know why that hasn't happened? Because everybody's a fucking idiot. I'm sick of it. You should be sick of it too. We should be holding these people accountable when it comes to November. I hope the Republicans lose. And I'm saying this as a Republican. And you know why I hope they lose? So they can learn a fucking lesson. Because they're stupid. They're not listening to us right now. I don't know who the fuck they're listening to. The co-producers at Fox News? Who are they listening to? Some paid for people that show up to speak to people when it's convenient? They're not listening to the people and the masses. The real MAGA people aren't going to vote in November. You're not giving us anything to vote for. Like, I'm just fully aware of what's happening here. And I just don't care. I don't want to hear about all the shit you're doing because you're not making my life better. I pay my bills. I don't break the law. I go to church on Sunday. I'm a good woman. I work. I don't look for handouts. I don't expect anything. I make my life the life I want. I don't have an expectation of anything. And I think you given an expectation for people that don't do anything at the bottom of the barrel, that are in the top, the lower class, the 10, the 15th, the 5%, the low, where you're telling all these people they can get everything free. Well, I pay for everything out of pocket. You're allowing illegal aliens to get houses and people of other nationalities to excel. And you forget the American people. How? How the fuck does that happen? Who's being held accountable for that? Who's being told that that's not okay? I'm tired of hearing about these foreign fucking people and their problems. We got American issues to accomplish with these people going into events trying to blow shit up and kill people every other day, with American citizens being attacked on the highway, with illegal aliens that can't drive, and all this. There's a bunch of hoopla going on because he's going to fund the defense $1 trillion. He could potentially, like, seriously get rid of student debt for everybody that owes student debt in the entire United States of America, but he's not going to do that. Instead, he's going to fund the war, and that's fine. It's fine. But I don't want to hear anything. I don't want to hear about any of this shit. And I don't know who would want to, honestly, because why do we keep lying to ourselves? It doesn't matter the color. It doesn't matter the party. They're in on the American people because we are easy for them to target, for them to convince us to take our money through taxes. I don't think we should care anymore. Our votes don't matter. Our opinions don't matter. Our thoughts don't matter. They don't care what we have to say. They don't care how we feel about anything. I don't give a fuck about this war. I said from the beginning, you need to fucking kill all these people. I'm not sure why they're still alive. We do have the greatest army and we do have the greatest presence for power in the world, and we should show it. We should be giving people to fuck around and find out options in any way that we can give it to them. But like I said, fuck Qatar. I don't know why he took the plane from them. I gotta agree with the Democrats on that. Why would you take something like that? Why? It's an echo chamber of bullshit, and I'm over it, and I don't care anymore. Like, how can I be jolly and holly and happy and energetic about a presidency that failed? And a bunch of rich people surrounding Donald Trump, and I don't care if they're rich or not, that doesn't have to do with anything, but I am pointing this out. They're not doing anything to make normal Americans' lives better. They're working on the farms and the farmers, and they keep talking about fucking AI, and they keep talking about this war like it matters, but for normal people, it doesn't. That's why there's an issue with Republicans where young people, Gen Z, are listening to communists who are crazy over the Republicans because they don't have shit to offer. I'm seeing it. I don't know how they don't. But you know what? Whatever. Politics. You can't trust any side. They're all dirty and they all care about one thing: money and power. That's it. We're moving on from the reality we know. Let's use fire with fire. I mean, I don't really care what the UK or Canada has to say about anything. And I've had to deal with a weird ass guy being on the East Coast in New England in the United States of America, looking at yellow sky because of the fires in Canada. And why are you fucking up our weather? That's great. Like always, we got to deal with a bad fucking hat that doesn't work correctly. Chinese spies are entrenched into the government of the United States of America, probably in every state, Democratic or Republican. I mean, you had Swalwell fucking a spy, and you definitely had other ones doing it too. There's so much shady shit with China. I still don't like that Trump signed off on them going to the most prestigious institutions in the United States, and the birthright issue with those people. I don't like that shit either. Like, clearly they'd rather have citizenship for America so they could attempt to destroy our country from within. We all know it. And then lie about it. It's bullshit. Kind of obvious it is. But there's a lot of Chinese spies, just like there's Jewish spies too. American greatness is something everybody's hating on and everybody is mad about. I will say one thing about Trump. He is not shy about pointing out all the things he's done. He probably likes people more if they point out about all the great things he's doing. But our greatness is something that we get to wear like a badge of honor. But our stupidity is something we should probably recognize too. Success has no race. That's the biggest joke about the Democratic Party with these communists and these progressives. They think that they're doing something because they're doing the DEI, not merit bullshit, and they think that's the message. How's that the message? You can achieve anything you want to, but you can't be white. You can be as great as you want to be, but the color of your skin can't be that light. You can be educated, but not too educated. And you can know all these things, but this, but that. That's the messaging for Americans. The color of your skin matters more than how smart you are. Isn't that fucking idiotic? I think we got to base like requirements off of people actually being qualified. When's that coming back? Just a thought. Like, when? Race doesn't have anything to do with success. Drive does. Merit is proof of brain activity. And if there isn't any merit, then there potentially isn't any brain activity. These kids are using AI to cheat. They don't do anything anymore. And now AI is being incorporated in education. I kind of think it should just take over everything. I don't know why we need to pay these teachers $100,000 for fucking what? California can't be saved. I don't care about the bald-headed guy from Fox News claiming he's going to save it. It can't be saved. Everybody should just do a mass exodus of California and never go back. And let's just let those people eat each other alive. Gavin Newsom has done an amazing job of burning that place. And the guy that lit California on fire in the Palisades got away with doing it. So, it can't be saved. And I don't know why we thought it could be. Nope, it's done for. American... How much are we supposed to endure here? But okay. Americans are tired of the politicians. They're just sick of them. Not everyone should be American, and we need to be vetting better, and we need to eliminate student visas and visa 1s and visa 11s and work visas, because I don't understand why Indian people need to come here to work at 7-Eleven or drive Ubers, and I also don't understand why they need to work at Amazon. I don't understand why any Nigerian people or Haitian people need to live in America. They're not providing anything to Americans for shit, and they can't fucking speak English. This isn't the country you originated from, and you need to go back there. If you want to act all out of character and ignorant and all the things you're doing, do that there. We're paying all these taxes for what? I don't think everybody should be American, and I know that might not sound nice, but it is the truth. No deal for Iran. There hasn't been a deal for Iran since any of these deals started. And I don't know why we're lying about it, acting like they're people we want to befriend. We don't want to befriend these fucking idiots. We should want to blow them the fuck up. Let's send a message very clearly. Burn, baby, burn. That should be the message. We don't need the oil from the Strait of Hormuz. The rest of the world should be very grateful that the United States of America does what they fucking do, because the rest of the world are pussies against Russia. They don't do anything. They're not strong. They're wussies, pussies, and failures, and it's all really obvious. Canada is a complete embarrassment and joke. So is the UK. So is the EU. So is the Middle East. All these places suck. They're in the Stone Age. The only reason they're talking about doing things is because they have competent people discussing it. But for the most part, these people are absolutely pathetic. They're not doing anything in 2026. They operate like it's 1936. Let's stop lying. No deal for Iran. Mic drop. Thanks for tuning in to this Thursday edition of No Media Allowed. Remember, America is rising, and remember, the world's going to have to deal with it. Iran, kissing ass. Nobody cares. See you guys tomorrow. The world's on fire, and everybody in America is laughing at you. As Canada burns down, I'm kind of finding enjoyment in that. See you guys tomorrow. Bye. Also, Cuba sucks, and Colombia, and China, and Venezuela, and all the governments in the UK, and we all know it. Bye.